So, as I was saying, you saw the Jack of Clubs disappear, and then thum, thum, two arrows just fly out, hit this thing, and then another comes out, catches it, and the third glitch, dissipates.
Also, just saying he has 3 attacks at full bab if you use Boots of Speeds.
Okay.
Because he has the feat to fire twice, but with a -2 to all shots.
Okay. Well, I'm probably only just taking control of him for this solo session, so. Alright, well. You have successfully destroyed the glitches. After they go down, they dissipate.
Ryan looks at his wound to see if that stopped dissipating itself.
Well, it was only the initial attack. You still see a little bit of decoloration around your chest, but thankfully that was the only hit you took.
Uh-huh.
It's not getting any worse than what you initially took.
Okay.
But,
if you hear any groans, just ignore that.
Well, I'll just, make it as if it's Ryan, because, yeah, you're in a lot of pain. It sucks.
Ryan's wisdom teeth are pushing his teeth aside. Nerd.
Oof.
Oh my. The thing I hate is my dentist told me they wouldn't do this, and we didn't have to remove them, and now I have to get braces all over again.
Great.
$5,000 more away.
Oh.
Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Jack just suddenly just emerges out of nowhere. Are you alright?
This is an interesting wound, and you seem to be a tad bit better at what I do than I am.
It's just practice. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it.
I'm sure if I live through this. Anyway, let's move on. I'd rather not meet any more of these creatures just standing here.
Sent you a message. A unfortunate realization on my part.
Ryan makes the offhand comment. Didn't you say you, didn't like fighting?
I don't. But
so it's more of I was in danger, so you fought sort of thing, rather than you wanted to hurt them.
Yeah. Something like that.
Well, thanks for the effort.
No problem.
You don't happen to have healing for later on, do you? Because I'm sure I'll get hit a few more times. I'm not sure. Nope, he does not. I did not give him a thing I should have. Okay.
I brought a few potions, but
well then, we should save them for when they're most needed.
They may not cure that.
Let's keep moving. Ryan actually now starts moving into stealth because he really doesn't want to just be surprised.
Yeah.
44.
Alright.
His small injury is inhabilitating him just a tiny bit. That's why he got such a low stealth roll. Because 44 is so low.
Yeah, 44 is so low. Meanwhile, the Jack of Clubs is just like, whoop.
Jack of Clubs gets an average roll and rolls a 62.
He just He's just there, and then he's not.
With Ryan, you can see like a tiny trail of smoke, but with Jack, he's just fucking gone.
Well, as you're stealthing along,
Is that a perception or?
all right. So as you're moving along, just three more of these things just kind of start materializing and shambling around. They try and look around, but they don't see you.
I whisper to Jack, can they be left alone or will they hurt things if they're still around?
They won't be able to interact with anything in here, let alone damage it.
So we don't have to engage.
If it can be avoided, yes.
Then until we get spotted, I suggest we keep moving.
Alright. So he continues moving. And you, as you turn this corner over here, see frozen in place what you would assume to probably be the, I guess you could say, the heroes. It's of a group of miscellaneous soldiers of various types. They're battling against another group. Unfortunately, it seems like they are, at least in this moment frozen in time, are about to lose.
Ryan just kind of looks away and sighs and says, let's move on. This is not exactly a pleasant place to be.
Alright.
Also, just putting it out there, cool map, good job.
Yeah. Alright, as you're walking along, you actually see two of the heroes, their bodies suddenly becoming static and then turning into glitches.
Is that supposed to happen?
These are how glitches are made. One way, at least.
So glitches were people?
Yes. Once. Now they're just. Well. Fragments.
Can we get around them, or will we have to engage them?
Seems the exit is just ahead. They don't seem to have noticed us. When he says this, they kind of just. They're slowly shambling towards you. Stands right in front of where you're stealthed.
Ryan holds his breath.
And then it just kind of moving away. The other one just kind of meanders to this way and stumbles off.
I have met many creatures before, but these are unpleasant, to say the least.
Seconded. Let's go. All right. You make your
My
way to.
offhand comment, I prefer the place where we found Oleander over this place, being honest.
It was quite an experience.
You were watching that. I guess you're always watching, so.
He's just he when he makes that comment, he's silent for a moment, and he just goes, "Let's continue."
Does this mean we're going to a new map?
Yep. Well, soon. Before you stands a very clean, almost out of place escalator, still working. However, when you look up, it seems to lead back up into that glitchy kind of portal.
Okay.
So as you begin heading up, go through the next portal into the next area.
So this area is a very ornate and
Very
nice
ornate,
looking.
very crystalline. Everything is made of crystal. However, like the last world, everything is just very grayed out.
I need Controller Ryan again.
I know. I need to do that really quick. Doot, doot, doot. All right.
There we go. Ken, is this place, like, if I were to take a stone from this place, would it be frozen if I brought it back?
A stone is a stone.
It was merely an example. If I took a living thing that was frozen and put it into my world, would it still be frozen?
No, but it would be unwise.
They would still think it was in this world.
Yes, and pulling something out of a time-locked reality risks glitches
So there's nothing we
entering
could
your
do
reality.
for these people.
Not anymore.
Ryan just looks down. Let's continue.
Yeah. Now let's probably could have just cleared the queue, but then whatever. All right, so the new area you're in seems to be a temple of sorts. You see before you a lot of people in robes running away in a frozen look of absolute terror in their eyes.
Shit, it's an almost 3 already? Damn. I didn't feel like it's been that long.
Yeah. The Jack of Clubs begins talking about this place. This world. The observers tried to help them battle against a terrible foe. Unfortunately, the heroes and the people of this world came to worship the observers as gods. And instead of working to fix their problems,
They wanted
they
you to fix them.
yes, they prayed and begged to the observers to solve their problems. For a while, the observers played their roles, but continuing to push forward and hope that the heroes of this world would do their duties. He continues walking.
This question: do I need to make a new stealth check in this room?
No.
Okay.
This place is surprisingly empty. Well, aside from the people who are frozen in time. So, just continue on. And then you just see when you enter this room, these reddish looking demons just uh, tearing monsters, tearing people to shreds. Body parts and bits of blood frozen in time. As you see the exact moment of death for some poor unfortunate soul.
So they cannot move on if they're stuck here. The souls can't go on.
Where does one go when time comes to an end? He just continues walking. These worlds represent the one thing you do not want to do. The last thing any of us want to do is bring innocent lives to an end.
Were you around for this?
No. But I have seen the King of Hearts use the time lock. It is a terrifying and equally sad experience. Imagine seeing everything before you, every star, every planet, every galaxy, slowly losing color and fading into nothing. We've only been playing for about an hour and a half.
Okay.
We started late, very late. So
Okay.
he just continues.
I'd rather not think of Phono being this way.
We're doing everything in our power to make sure that isn't the case. But per the rules the king has set, we are not allowed to directly interfere.
Why does the king set the such rules then?
Wait, what'd you say?
Why does the king set such rules then?
I've tried to ask him. But you know, the observers, cryptic is as cryptic does. And he gave me a cryptic answer. He simply said, because there'd be no game if there's no rules.
Ryan just scoffs at this, continues moving.
He continues forward. As I said, these people saw the observers as gods. And as you enter this room, up here, you see a massive shrine dedicated to the observers. But it is completely destroyed. And you see, frozen in time, this massive, colossal demon just breaking through. And he continues to say, and because the heroes failed and relied all on the observers, they were left to cry out when they did nothing to stop Rovagug.
Is this him, or?
This is a version of him. At least this reality's version of him. Portal is close ahead. He begins making his way up to the the shrine, right in front of where the heroes are. There's a little small pit, and inside it is the is another portal.
Ryan walks in.
Alright, you walk in to the next area. And actually the last area, because setting all this shit up has been a pain in the ass, so. Got a very small map, but I'll just give you the portal leads to the top of a snowy mountain. Single ruined tower lies above it across several gravestones. The Jack of Clubs begins walking forward.
Why are we here?
I believe this is where he is.
King here?
You see him pull out some kind of device. I'm certain of it.
Ryan chuckles a bit. What? Do you have a king tracking device?
Something like that.
Ryan chuckles a bit more when you actually confirm his joke.
He walks up to this thing right here. It seems to be a large, massive tomb. Help me move this.
Okay. I do. Ryan does.
Alright. Begin moving the you can You begin moving the tomb, and inside is indeed the King of Hearts, frozen in time like everything else.
Did he do this to himself?
From inside this own reality, activated the time lock.
So this was recent? I
He
just saw the
nods.
king a little while ago. So you have to sacrifice yourself to destroy your entire universe?
No, but
So
this
this was his
was.
choice.
He must have been desperate. You look up and you see horrible, unnameable monsters similar to the kind Nyarlathotep used. Although in the very distance you see something just floating in the air, something undescribable beyond words.
Ryan gets a little scared. What what are those?
The other outer gods.
Why would they come here?
This was the timeline that the kings of Ulagor defeated Nyarlathotep and banished him to hell. They were to do battle against the others in a race to stop something called the Doom Clock from reaching zero. As you can see, it did not turn out so well.
This device has the power to capture eldritch gods.
He just looks up. I'm certain this means nothing to them. He looks. You already know Yog-Sothoth has entered your world.
Yeah, we saw him. He didn't seem the worst, and he seemed to kind of not like Nyarlathotep very much.
Nyarlathotep went against the rules of the game. His role ended, but he decided that he should dictate the rules.
So Yog-Sothoth isn't necessarily the bad guy.
Oh no. He is practically evil incarnate. You are just fortunate enough that Nyarlathotep is on the very top of their shit list for entering and corrupting your world.
So, what do? We bring King back?
We have to.
Didn't you say that could cause glitches? Or is he different because he's not from here?
It will still be risky, but good outweighs the bad and what we need the King of Hearts for. He reaches in, pulls him out.
Just puts him in the
Almost
old
like
bag of holding.
it just almost just like picking up a big old plank of wood. It's just he's not moving at all, or not even like
Not even
his body
flopping,
is
it's just solid.
just big old solid king statue.
Mm. Let me just put this in this portable hole real quick. Do we go back the way we came, or is there another way out of this?
No, you see him put his finger to like some kind of device in his ear. Queen, we got him. And then with that, you feel yourself kind of beginning to fade. Like you're being removed from this reality. After a moment, your vision fades to black and you lose consciousness. But a split second later, you find yourself back in the observatorium.
Ryan looks quizzically at Jack. Why would both of you want to get Queen back or get King back? Isn't it advantageous to you? Meaning Queen could be king and you could be higher?
Do you really want someone like her in the top spot?
I'm not saying I want it, but why doesn't she want it? From what I know of her, she would gladly try to take the position. Is there some
Your
sense of
answer
loyalty between you two?
your answer is answered as the Queen of Diamonds walks in. Because he is more than just an observer.
So saying his power far exceeds either of yours.
Very much so. I'll take him to the medbay. There is much that needs to be done. Being time locked is a terrible experience. I don't know how long he was frozen, but we can hope that he hasn't yet reached brain death. She takes him and begins walking away.
So do you actually know what king is?
No, I don't. I don't know what he is, who he is, or why he is. But despite what you saw, he is a good man.
So your loyalty is stemmed from awe rather than fear, as I once thought.
No. It's more respect. He saved my life. He didn't have to. He does a lot of things that he doesn't have to, but he does. Because it's the right thing to do. And he doesn't.
Ryan just blurts out, the right thing to do wouldn't be to let worlds like this happen. If he made the rules, he should unmake them.
I think that's what he was going to do. I think he realized that the way we do things now won't work anymore.
How could it ever work?
It has. And it did. Those worlds you saw, they're the very small exception. But I saw him when the only time I ever saw him use the time lock. When it was done, he practically broke down.
Which world did we travel through? Was one of the worlds that we traveled through one of the ones that you saw him time lock?
No. It was. It doesn't matter. He does his best to try and study them, to figure out ways to reverse. He's only come up with one solution, but that's only if things play out the way they're meant to be played.
Brian looks a little annoyed at this. Well, this can't be the only reason you brought me. You could have retrieved King yourself.
He says nothing. My reasons are my own. Just he walks over to the console. I suppose I want to make sure you don't suffer my fate.
And showing me what happens if we fuck up helps me how?
Hopefully it gives you the conviction and the strength to not fuck up.
As if what I had seen already didn't already do that.
In any case, we got him back.
How long has it been since I was acquired, kidnapped?
He looks up at the screen back as you all walk back to the console room. It seems that The party has only just now killed the giant robot. A handful of moments, it seems.
So I guess time works a bit differently here.
Time means very little to observers. It's nothing more than an idea. It's more, less of a fundamental law and more of well, before he finishes his sentence, the queen walks in. All right, you two. I'm sorry to say, but you're not done yet.
So I was right. This wasn't the only reason you brought me.
Yes.
This I was meant to see, and the next part I meant to do something. Or, assumedly.
Yes. And you, Demiron, are going to be the one who kills Nyarlathotep.
Ryan just burst out laughing. And how do you plan on letting me do that?
You are going to go to the Shadow Plane and regroup with your friends.
The fuck is a shadow plane, and why are my friends there?
Well, they will be soon. She looks up at the screen. But the Shadow Plane is the best way to describe it. A mirror of your own reality. Think of it as reversed. We need you to go through the Shadow Plane to get to a cave underneath rain in your world.
Are you telling me this is where the IST is?
Yes. The highest tier is buried deep under rain, but we cannot acquire it through normal means. So we must go through the shadow planes.
Who the hell
And
thought it was a good idea to put it where it is now?
Nyarlathotep thought it was a good idea to put it where it is right now.
It's so damn powerful, why isn't he using it?
She just chuckles. Nyarlathotep is, for all his power,
A fucking idiot?
more or less, he is driven more by ego than intelligence. He believes himself to be so unstoppable he could simply just lock the highest hair away and be confident in the idea that no one would be able to retrieve it. Hubris is a silly thing.
So I'm gonna be there before my friends and do what?
You are going to reunite with your friends, is what you're going to do.
But you said I'm going there before them. Supposed to sit
Yes.
into one of my pause until they arrive?
More or less.
Ryan just rolls his eyes.
Look. What we need you to do is important, so please take it seriously. None of this eye rolling bullshit. None of this scoffing and asking questions.
Fine.
She just sighs. May not look like it, but we are trying to help you. We may not be very good at showing it, but we're trying.
Ryan holds his tongue from saying a few choice words.
Go. Lead him back to the portal room. Make your way to Shadow Plane. You know the drill. Don't veer off into Zan-Kuthan's territory. Understood. He begins leading you back to the portal room.
Jack,
Yes?
what is it that binds you to her? I don't think it is.
She's my superior. That's all there is to it.
What'd you say, Strider?
I said, so the Jack Club looks at you and he just goes, she's my superior. That's all there is to it.
Ryan doesn't ask any other questions and just follows him through the portal.
Alright.
Can we take a quick 15-minute break? Mom's yelling at me to do something real quick.
Yeah, sure, could take a break.
Okay, be right back.
Before you actually head to the portal room, Jack leads you into an armory. And he begins sorting through several drawers looking for something.
What are you looking for?
Shadow Plane is dark. When I say dark, I don't mean like dark. I mean daytime is nighttime in your world, and nighttime is, well, you're lucky if you can see your hands. Pause.
So, getting me goggles so I can see?
Not goggles, more. Here we go. He pulls out a handful of. They seem to be like black rings, more like earrings, but
A piercing is gonna help me see.
yes, actually.
So, does this need to go in a specific place?
he technically in your eye, but
I'd rather not do that.
he goes, but generally anywhere around the eye, including the eyebrow, is acceptable.
And I'm assuming one of you has to put it on me. Because I doubt it's just simple stab in and done.
Would you believe that that it's the case?
Well then, put it on.
All right. He quickly walks over and puts the piercing into your eyebrow. It's relatively painless. He puts he takes the other one. Going to go over here to put this on, so if you'll excuse me. He goes and he closes the door.
But I wanted to see you without your mask.
You hear on the other side, get used to disappointment.
What is the reason behind your mask?
There's a bit of silence, and then he just goes, because it looks cool.
Ryan chuckles a bit. I guess you observers aren't all the same. I'm pretty sure the king doesn't do things because it looks cool. You seem to be a bit different than the rest of them.
I suppose it's
What is
taking
the
off an awfully long time to just remove a mask and put on a piercing.
what is the reason behind the pure white garments? Wouldn't that get dirty if you fight?
Oh, it does. We have a very, very good laundry machine.
I'm. That's not a joke, is it?
This is there are other reasons, but I won't bother you with them.
I guess that's fair enough. I don't particular care for delving into my own backstory, which I'm sure you already know, as well as all the other observers, because you can't keep your noses out of shit.
Well, it's literally our job to stick our nose in shit. He pauses for he pauses for a moment. Wait! Please don't take it like that.
Right? It just starts fucking rolling on the floor. Now that's a quote that I'm going to remember. Ryan says that in character. Please pin that.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
That's literally our job, to stick our noses in shit. The observer.
Glorious.
Now I could definitely tell that you're not the same as the other observers. They wouldn't say such things. They're a bit more refined.
I suppose the years just hasn't.
You're a
All the
lot more
years.
fun than the rest of them.
I try. I always tried to get a joke. I always tried to make. He's about to say a name. He just stops himself. Never mind. I always tried to make a friend of mine laugh. She never took to the jokes.
Well, to be fair, that was corny as shit.
I suppose so.
But yeah, you put the piercing on me in like 2 seconds. How come it's been like a minute for you? Is the mask just really hard to get off?
This gear is very complicated to.
I'm sure. Now that I think of it, you can actually see who the or what the or not who or what, but you can actually see King. You can actually see the Queen. You are the only one that covers your entire body this way. Um, can I actually make a sense motive on him? Because he's acting really fucking weird.
Go for it.
That one. Sense motive. Let me scroll all the way up to that. Plus 17. 34.
What is his let me look up something. Okay. Let me just roll this really quick.
Oh, I'm hoping that one.
Fell. So the Jack of Clubs is full of shit. Yeah, you
So I
just
know he's full of shit?
from pretty much everything he's been saying, he's full of shit. As I was saying, the Jack of Clubs is full of shit. And at everything, including at how long this has been taking.
Um, you're not very good at lying, by the way.
Uh, I'm not lying.
I call bullshit.
Look, this a very complicated armor. It takes a while. So just a few more moments, and I'll be ready.
Well, I guess I know one thing I'm better at than you.
What's
Lying.
mm, well? Do you do anything?
I just sit there with a smirk on my face after calling his bullshit and just wait for him to come out.
Okay. Well, You wait. And after a couple more minutes, he finally comes back out wearing the mask. All
That's
right.
some complicated leather armor and mask there.
Oh, it's very complicated.
So we're going to a shadow plane then.
Yes, we are. Let's just go.
Agreed.
All right. So he leads you to the portal area, and he again begins working the console, and it opens up. The portal opens up to this very dark woodland area. Trees are all dead. It looks
Am I
like
gonna have to find them, or will I be teleported roughly to where they will be?
in the same general area.
Okay.
Well, let's go. The two of you step into the portal, and that's where we will be ending the solo session.